morning, guys. So, today we have the concept lead acid battery and its construction, working, and its applications. Before that, we'll study regarding battery and some types of cells. So, the battery is nothing but the source or device which converts chemical energy into electrical energy and vice versa. Cell is the building block of battery. So the battery may consist of one cell, two cell, three cell, depending upon the uh, output you require. Okay, the cells are inbuilt are the building blocks of the battery. So the battery is the combination of cells in the series. So if you want 12-volt output, then 6 cells are connected in series. So like that, the battery will be the combination of cells. So there are two types of cells are there. One is primary cell and there is secondary cell. Primary cell is the cell which cannot be recharged and can never be reused. That is because its chemical reactions cannot be reversed. Once the chemical reaction gets over, all the chemical energy turns into electrical energy. It cannot be recharged. That is why it is called as chemical process is not reversible. After once the chemical reaction totally completes, it has to be destroyed. For example, the some primary cells are zinc, carbon, and alkaline. Normally, these cells are used in some of the smaller power applications like in remote controls and some toys. And now comes secondary cells. These are the cells which are recharged once the chemical reaction completes. That is nothing but chemical energy is completely converted into electrical energy. The cell can be recharged. Okay, so the electrodes and the acid mixture changes as the battery supplies the electrical energy. So as it gets discharged, by applying the current to the cell in the positive direction, the battery can restored and it is only called as the battery can be recharged. So for some examples for secondary cells are lead acid battery, nickel cadmium battery, and some metal hydride batteries like lithium ion battery. These are used lithium ion batteries are used in the mobile cells, and the lead acid batteries are used in most of the automobile applications. And these are also known as storage cells or accumulators. So we'll study now regarding the most commonly used type of battery in the recent days. That is lead acid battery. So which was invented in 19th century, and as I've said you, the secondary cells or the batteries are called as rechargeable batteries. Okay, so some of the applications are these are widely used in various industries, generation plants, hotels, and some domestic applications, commercial applications, and as a power backup in homes. And as I've said to you, these are commonly used for the automobile industries. And why? Because these are best selling batteries and most frequently used in automobiles. Okay, so why they are used in automobiles? The purpose is for which will powers the wipers, headlights, starters. Okay, so for these applications we need lead acid battery. And in most of the small vehicles we are having 12-volt lead acid battery in use. So the lead acid battery mainly configures some chemical composition like lead and sulfuric acid as a electrolyte. Okay, so the features of the lead acid batteries are these are least expensive compared to other batteries, and these are having longer life, that we can say durable, and they have low energy density, and the toxicity emitted by this lead acid battery is also very less. So the lead acid recharging. So low self discharge. Okay, so the self discharge is very less and cannot be stored when discharged, and we have to think. So once it is completely discharged, it should not be kept for the longer duration like that. It has to be recharged, and the limited number of full discharges are there, after some full discharges, it has to be thrown away. It cannot be reused because the electrolytes and the cells may get depleted. Danger of overheating during the charging. So this is what the construction we prefer for the lead acid battery. So we can see there are several parts or indicated over here. So this is the positive. So the positive plate is shown with dark chocolate or black colored, and some grids are there. In those grids, the grid, in the grids itself, we are fixing the positive plate as well as the negative plates. So this is a grid plate, and next we have positive plate, black in color it is shown, and then we have separators. So the separators will separate the positive and negative plates. Okay, so the negative plates is shown in the gray color, and then we have some positive plates, negative plate combination with the separators in between. Okay, so then we have some external parts like this is what the casing, which is shown in the dark gray colored casing is there. There are terminals for the external connections. Then we have walls over here, open vents, we also call them as vents. Okay, and there is a electrolyte sealing ring which is shown over here. Okay, so this is all about the construction. So we'll see one by one what the construction is made up of. So battery casing is nothing but a kind of cover provided over the battery which forms the sealed container. Okay, sealed container because it is having a lot of important parts in it, like some acid is placed as an electrolyte. So if it leaks over, the battery working downs and efficiency is also less. Okay, and so therefore we should have a proper sealed container for it. Then also this container will provide the protection for the internal parts. We have a lot of positive plates, negative plates, and we have separators, electrolyte, so it protects all the internal parts. Next, also it keeps the internal parts with proper alignments and prevent the electrolyte leakage. Okay, and the material, the best preferred for this battery case or cover is hard rubber, plastic based materials. For your exam, you can remember the battery case provides the protection to the internal parts and it is made up of hard rubber or plastic based materials. Okay, so this is what the external look. These are some vent plugs, and this is the lid and lid or cover, upper cover. Then these are the separators, separate the positive and negative plates. Then this is the battery case, and these are the ribs to place these or grids. Okay, so then we have plates. The most important thing you have to remember or is the materials used for making the positive as well as negative plates. So they have clearly shown in the picture. The grids for positive plates is separated over for on this side with shady brown, and the grids for the negative plates separated over this, tilted over this side. These are shady gray colored. Okay, so in between them this is the separator. Separators may be made up of microporous rubber or cloth or plastic. So these materials will be used as a separator. Okay, so the positive plates are made up of lead oxide. So hence they are in brown color. The positive plate is made up of PbO2, lead oxide. Negative plates are made up of spongy lead. Hence they are pure lead also. These are made, pure lead is having gray color. So you have to remember positive plates are made up of PbO2, that is lead peroxide, and negative plates are made up of spongy lead, pure lead. Next we have separators. The separators are microporous glass or plastic envelopes which will prevent any short circuit between positive and negative plates. As these are placed inside the container, there should not be any direct contact between positive as well as negative plate. Hence we are adding the separators in between the positive and negative plates. So the separators are made up of plastic or glass. These are having small holes so that electrolyte pass over freely. So next we have cells. So we have number of cells connected in series. Each cell is having one positive and one negative plate, and each cell is rated for 2.1 volt. Okay, so these are connected in series. For a 12 volt battery, we have 6 cells connected in series. So like this, the construction will be preferred